Well met everyone, Maxa here for a first video about one of my favorite decks of all time, Alt Paladin. Today I played a game on ladder against a pirate rogue, and I really thought that what happened in this game was really interesting content for an educational video. So today what I want to do is review with you the replay of this game that I have here in front of my eyes, because I think it highlights a lot of the core concepts of Hearthstone in general, and also how to identify your win conditions in any given matchup. So for your information, the game you're going to see has been played at rank, between rank Legend 14 and Legend 69. So I was the Legend 14 player, and my opponent was a little bit lower in terms of MMR. So let's first start off with the mulligan phase. I intentionally hid the cards that my opponents hold, so that you have exactly my point of view of how and why I made certain decisions during the game. To start off, you need to understand what is the core card that you need to play around when you're facing Pirate Rogue as Alt Paladin. And this card is, of course, it doesn't want to show. Expand. Nice. Puffer Fist. Puffer Fist is the card that you need to play around, because this card can single-handedly destroy your entire purpose as a deck, which is spamming 1/1s. And therefore, if you look at the mulligan that we have here, we start with Tour Guide, Animated Broomstick, and Warhouse Trainer. Warhouse is the key card here, the key card alongside Broom. The idea is that you need to wait for the Puffer Fist to come down, and then you counter the Puffer Fist with Warhouse, Hero Power, and Broom. If you don't do that, if you waste your Broom, or if you have no way to actually kill the Puffer Fist, you're doomed. You will just lose the game. Tour Guide is also extremely valuable here, because the best turn 1 rogue can have against you is to have Fillet Fighter, so the 3/1 that deals 1 damage here, which can pull is between 0 and 2 Parachute Brigands. Then you have Patches, and they can sometimes even coin a second one or a Prize Plunderer here. This is just about the mulligan. So this is the perfect situation against Rogue. Sometimes you want to keep Righteous Protector, and if you are on the coin, keeping stuff like Promotion, and if you have a 1-drop or a Lost in the Jungle, it's very good to just Tour Guide or Lost in the Jungle coin Promotion, because stones are also extremely valuable in the matchup. Alright, mulligan phase. We get the Baku proc. Okay, then here we just Tour Guide, Hero Power, we get 3/3 stats on the board. Nothing too complex here to discuss. Alright, here it was a very interesting play, because our opponent saw just coins, Hero Power, and trades, of course, into a Silver Hand Recruit. This is something that's quite uncommon. You don't usually see that on ladder in the matchup, but this usually is a sign that your opponent isn't feeling really comfortable with establishing board control early on. And this forces me to Hero Power on the next turn, or at least develop and not just draw cards. Because if he does that, now he has banked 2 mana into destroying 2 minions, and the only thing that I want in order to win the game is to establish board control. Here we draw Quartermaster, which is quite slow, but yeah, we just go face here. So here is the Field Fighter. The Field Fighter comes down, it kills the recruit, patches come down, and then he plays Prize Plunderer, and now with Hero Power we are left 3-2-1. This is pretty significant, as when you have one health minions like this on the board, you always need to think, okay, in order to win the matchup, I need to be always 2 minions ahead or at least even, because Alt Paladin will just change the amount of trades that you can do, and if the Alt Paladin has more minions than you do, and you don't have um, tools to control the board, such as Field Fighter, Puffer Fist, or whatever, uh, you're just going to be able to do less trades than it does, and therefore it can dictate the tempo of the game. Get the Loatheb, pretty useless card in the matchup. Okay, here we trade the the Field Fighter to minimize phase damage, and we just Hero Power. We have 1 mana left over, and at this point you have to think, okay, you're not using Broom. You're never using Broom in a situation like this. There is no point. There is no point, because what you're going to be left, you're going to have what, one single silver hand recruit on the board. It's not going to do anything. You don't have promotion. You don't have you have no, there is no point. So the extra leftover mana I'm going to use, I traded it for another card. Merchant is a good card in the matchup, because Merchant is a minion the rogue cannot trade into. It has too much stats. The only reliable way it can trade is the Smothering Starfish. And it's also a great tool for a Broom turn. But here I have everything I need to perform a Broom turn with Warhorse Trainer and eventually Quartermaster. But Quartermaster is very heavy and very slow. So here the guy just zero powers, he trades the patches and he trades the weapon into the recruit, and I'm against 0 to 2 on board. Alright, here I draw Divine Favor. At this point, I was pretty hesitant into playing Master for Battle. Why? Because he will be on 4 mana, he has an equipped weapon, and Puffer Fist is 3 mana. So at this point, there is a chance, excuse me, that I will just waste 3 mana. I will just pay 3 mana, then he will pay 3 mana, and he will establish board control, and I will lose everything, and I will take damage. But I don't see another out, so I just trade with my face into the Plunderer. Why do I trade into the Plunderer and not the Southie? It's just that if something crazy must happen, this one is the Plunderer is probably more problematic. And by stupid stuff that happens, since I'm running Omayog, a lot of things can happen. So here is the Puffer Fist. It comes down, as I said. So here I kind of wasted 3 mana. I just removed a minion. I'm losing on my board. He has board presence. This is bad. Okay, here hear me out. It's an extremely complex turn, because at first I was thinking of playing Warhorse and going with the hero power turn. But after thinking a bit more, I realized that Lothraction was indeed the best play. Lothraction allows me to, on turn 6, play Warhorse, Hero Power, and even Broomstick into perfect trades into the Puffer Fist without losing my minions. And having Lothraction plus Warhorse creates a huge wall of Taunt Divine Shield minions, which are extremely hard for the Pirate Rogue to deal with. Also, I'm only at 20 health, so I'm still pretty high and not in lethal range at all. Alright, here is the Swordfish. And this is also valuable information later on. You will understand why. So the guy had been holding Swordfish here for a while. He didn't play it before because Swordfish is not a good tempo play against Sword Paladin. You just spend 3 mana. Sometimes you even need to put a weapon swing into a recruit, which is really bad tempo. And here, very important information: the Dredge did not find a pirate. And this, guys, is how the tables will turn in the matchup. So he just plays the Dread Corsair instead of playing it for 0, and he goes with the Puffer Fist and the Weapon Face. So yeah, there is the 1 damage proc. Okay, here is what I was talking about. I play Warhorse, Hero Power, Tone Divine Shield, and then Broom. And both of the recruits go into the minions. There is an argument here that I should maybe have put Lothraction face. I mean, in the Puffer Fist instead of the second recruit. I somewhat disagree with that because the second Puffer Fist would have killed the Resurrection, and I was not really and a second Puffer Fist was annoying because this recruit would have, or this one doesn't matter, would still have had Divine Shield, but this one not, and this would be 1 health, and therefore a weapon swing in this kills this and the Broom. All right. Um, so the Dredge here only found the cannon, so it was not a pirate. Okay, and here is the second Puffer Fist, and this is why I wanted to highlight this game. It's because Puffer Fist, if you're an inexperienced Odd Paladin player against Pirate Rogue, and the Pirate Rogue is good, Puffer Fist can turn this matchup into a 60-40 or even a 65-35 for the Rogue. However, if you are good at Odd Paladin and if you understand exactly what you're doing and what you have to do, the matchup is literally flipped in favor of the Paladin. So here is the cannon proc, was pretty unlucky. Here is the second cannon proc, it goes into the Warhorse. I was like, eh. Because now it just trades with this. The Rogue can just go into the Warhorse, it kills it. I lose the Broom, and now I'm left with a Attraction. I'm left with a Attraction. And here I have in hand, I just top decked a Masterful Battle, but I'm on 11 health. Here is the turn where I need to think, okay, which minion is the most dangerous one from now on, because he still has 1 weapon swing. I have no idea what this is. This could definitely be a Mr. Smite. This could definitely be a Mr. Smite. And he has 7 damage, so he's missing 4 damage. So I decide, pardon me for this simple misplay. I'm going to play the Righteous Cause, the Hero Power, and then I play Master, but I still have 1 charge on my Light Justice. This is just a blunder, but that was fine. That was fine. It did not change the outcome of the game. Of course, it just replays very slow at understanding that you need to put minions on the board with Divine Shield and proc the quest. And here with the Lost Fraction, I decide to trade the Puffer Fist because it's just not 1 extra damage, but 2 extra damage, because the Puffer Fist also deals 1 damage when the hero attacks. So it's not 3 versus 2, it's actually 4 versus 2. Also, the cannon has less chances of being a problem because I have 6 targets on the board. And of course, I'm going face. Okay, it just top decks the fleet fighter. The fleet fighter goes, of course, into the lost fraction. The ping goes into a well, yeah, into a random minion. Doesn't matter. And he has the frenzied filling. He's going face. He's going face again. Simply because, well, he has to play it into his out. Drawing into Mr. Smite can scam the game somehow. And here is how I just seal the game. He doesn't know I've got a master. I top deck War's Trainer. Okay, it's a little bit of a BM here. I play both, but I usually like to showcase that kind of thing because I mean I like to show to my opponent that whatever he could do, I was gonna kill him. So this isn't just a top deck. Like if I didn't top deck this, I wouldn't have won, you know. And here is the conclusion of this game. So that was it. This is, I believe, a really educational replay to watch if you like to play Odd Paladin or if you like to understand how to play aggro mirrors in general. If you have liked the content that you just watched, please leave a like on the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this, and if you want to support me making in making more content like this. I also stream on Twitch from time to time at Maxadona with an H here between the second A and the D. And if you are also a high legend wild player, if you see that odd paladin guy, or I mean that paladin guy on EU, it's probably me. So uh, don't worry. When I add you, it's not to flame you. It's just to have a nice chat and say GG. Anyway, I hope you like the content. See you guys on ladder and have fun.